Wilt Chamberlain invented the world-famous, photogenic, black millionaire basketball player.
Well, that's a snippet of the new Wilt Chamberlain three-part docuseries examining the historic life, career, and impact of the Lakers legend. The new series hits Paramount Plus 1 week from today with a new episode dropping each week. And here to talk about all of this is Rob Ford. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Of course, you know, I want to start right away with many people saying that he's the most misunderstood athlete of all time. Is that what the docuseries examines primarily?
1,000%. Misunderstood in every way imaginable, starting with one of his most famous statements of having 20,000 different relationships with women.
Oh, you're going there.
We have to go there.
I'm glad you're going there, right? Because that's what everyone thinks.
Yeah,
right
a lot
away.
of folks are going to be showing up to really dig in and understand what was that about. So, you know, we couldn't deny it. You know, he's also known for scoring 100 points in one basketball game and being the biggest, fastest, tallest, strongest. But he was a very sensitive human being who was in search of love and spent a lot of his life in solitude alone.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that part of it as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, you have some groundbreaking AI in this as well. Tell us about that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, so the most important thing for us and our creative team was to find a way to make the viewer feel like they were having a very personal, intimate experience with Wilt. But he's no longer with us, and we couldn't interview him, and he wasn't present for the piece. And so we found this AI technology that allowed us to recreate his voice by using samples of several hours of interviews from him and recreated it. And I would challenge anyone to try and figure out the difference.
What was that like for you as a director to hear basically your words coming out as his voice?
Yeah, well, they're actually his words.
There are, okay.
Yeah, no worries, but we took, you know, direct quotes from books that he wrote, which he published several and lots of interviews. So everything that you hear from him is actually his words. But it was chilling, you know, to hear how close it sounds and to hear him have commentary on things that were very important for us to touch on in the film. And most importantly, to share that with his family when they got a chance to hear his voice. It was, you know, sort of this very like special reconnection for them.
What did they say about it?
They loved the series. They thought he was done justice. They felt it was a very accurate, true depiction of who he was. And they were very emotional with hearing his voice and seeing all of the media. They learned things too, because they only knew him as Uncle Dip, as they call him, or you know, their brother, but they got to see what he was as a businessman, as a politician, as a fashion icon. So many layers,
So much there, right? That's why it's probably more than three different episodes you could do. I have to ask you really quickly, we can't talk about Wilt Chamberlain without talking about Bill Russell, right? His rival and then his friend. How much of a part of the docuseries does he play?
He's a huge part. I mean, I would say he's probably the main supporting character, particularly to the basketball narrative, because they were in direct competition throughout Wilt's entire career. And unfortunately, Russell got the best of him most times. But we really break down the why that was, and a lot of it is luck, a lot of it is teammates, a lot of it is organizational structure relative to coaches and ownership. But Wilt always got the short end of the stick of being blamed for you're the loser by not beating Russell, where Russell was a team guy and would get credit for winning, but he had, I mean, he played with 7 Hall of Fame players.
I know.
So, you know, the deck was stacked in his favor.
Well, I can't wait to see it. It sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, Rob, for joining us.
Appreciate it.
It starts streaming on Friday.
Friday, Paramount Plus. All 3 episodes are available July 14th.
All right. Thanks so much for coming in.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Can't wait to see it.
All right.
All right. And you can find more information about Goliath and Rob Ford here by going to kcalnews.com and clicking Seen on TV.